Welcome in, everybody. Josh here from 8-Bit Goonies. Just want to jump in today and answer probably the toughest question I get asked as a film buff, movie enthusiast, 4K addict, whatever you want to call me, right? Um, I often get the question, what is your favorite movie? And I'm going to answer that today. I'm going to tell you what it is because I do have a definitive favorite film. I got to thinking about it, and I've honestly given this answer for many, many years now, probably 5 years. And when you think of your favorite movie, why is it your favorite movie? Does it have your favorite actor in it? Mine doesn't have my favorite actor in it. Is it your favorite director made this film? My favorite director didn't make this film. In fact, I wouldn't put the star of this movie nor the director of this movie in top five or probably top 10. In fact, a lot of people would maybe pick their favorite movie out of their favorite genre. I My two favorite films are actually from one of my least favorite genres. It's one of those things where I just have these two movies that just rise above the top of everything else, and they're so strange because they're not in my wheelhouse at all of typical movies that I like. Although there is a through line, and you'll see it when we get to them. Um, yeah, I'd say my favorite genres are I love the 80s action, I love thrillers, I love a good drama, I love uh, sci fi and horror films. And those obviously lend themselves very well to 4K format and what we have been discussing on this channel, certainly. Um, my top directors, I've mentioned it many times. I think my favorite director of all time is Stanley Kubrick. I love his work. He's just astounding. I can watch his films, but they're hard watches. A lot of them ask a lot of you. Full Metal Jacket and Clockwork Orange and The Shining. Great, awesome movies, but they're not they're not the most enjoyable watches sometimes. They're very tough watches. They ask a lot of you. And that's fine. My favorite actor of all time, I've thought about it and I've come to the conclusion it's Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is the man. He's the GOAT. He's just the best from everything from his 80s action to his comedy to his drama to his inspirational stuff. I love Kurt Russell. In fact, go in my library. I got a song about I love Kurt Russell. Um, so yeah, it doesn't star Kurt Russell. Um, so what is my favorite film? Well, my two favorite movies of all time. When I say I'll stick by this. These have been my two favorite films for years. I watch them every year at least, if not more. My number two movie of all time is American Movie, and it just got released in 4K. I haven't got it yet. I don't have a copy to show you, but it's on its way. Once I get that, we'll do a deep dive into American Movie. If you haven't seen American Movie, please go see American Movie. I have a lot to say about it, and I will do a full deep dive video once I get the 4K and had a chance to watch it in 4K. The only I own it, but I only own it on I actually bought it on YouTube, so I own the digital copy on YouTube. So I can throw that on in the background. I watch that movie all the time. I laugh my ass off every time. It's amazing. Now, my number one film of all time is not available in 4K yet, and it's a shame, but I think it will be. I think it will be soon. Now, I'm not going to do a deep dive on it today. I'm not going to do a scene by scene breakdown. I just want to talk some generalities about it and why it's my favorite film. And you'll see the through line as soon as I show it to you. I guess it could be called a drama, but I'd class my two favorite films, this and American Movie, both as comedies. They make me laugh, they make me smile the whole way through. Um, in fact, when I was back in Colorado last time, somebody was asked me this, and I said my favorite movie stars Johnny Depp. They thought about it for a second and they said, "Is it Pirates of the Caribbean?" And I said, "No. God, no. Pirates wouldn't even be in my top five Johnny Depp movies of all time. Um, I'd pick Nightmare on Elm Street or Platoon ahead of those. I know he's not the main star of those films, but he's in them. They're Johnny Depp movies. No, my favorite movie of all time is this little treasure right here called Ed Wood. This this movie. Uh, so the through line, obviously, American movie and Ed Wood are movies about making movies. I love B sci-fi 50s stuff through and through. And Ed Wood just captures that. It's a passion about a passionate man that just wants to make movies and he just loves to make movies and he'll do it at any cost, at any expense. It doesn't matter how much money's in the budget, he's going to make the movie. And Johnny Depp plays Ed Wood so perfectly well as this happy go lucky, just inspirational guy. Much like an American movie where we're going to make this movie at any, it doesn't matter. We've got the passion to do it. It doesn't matter what limitations or roadblocks are put in front of us. And Ed Wood is notorious filmmaker. During his life, he died broke. He died penniless. He never made money on his movies. It was only later that they were discovered, and then Plan 9 from Outer Space and Glen Glinda. But he shows that if you have the drive and the passion, you can make history. It also has Martin Landau in it. One of the best performances I can ever think of, honestly, is Martin Landau in this movie, playing an aged drug addict, Bela Lugosi. In his dying years, Bela Lugosi was a notorious morphine addict down on his luck. He met Ed Wood, and they made movies together. Ed Wood recognized how important name recognition is, and if we could have Bela Lugosi, the classic Dracula star from Universal, in my films, well, then the rest will take care of itself. And it captures painstakingly those classic movies. They recreate the sets, the shots, the angles, everything, and is done so astoundingly in that movie. I love it so much. And Johnny Depp plays it to just this perfect little. He's always, we can make it happen. And he was notorious for one shots. Ed Wood was. So we shoot it once. It doesn't matter how good it went. It was real. That was real. There's a scene in this where another guilty pleasure of mine is wrestling, certainly. And George the Animal Steel is in this playing Tor, and he's so good. There's a scene where he's going, and this happened in the real Plan 9 from Outer Space, where he bumps into a doorway and the set shakes, and the cinematographer looks over and goes, "Don't you want to do another take? He bumped the door on the way out." And Ed Wood goes, "No, that was real. Yeah, man, his size would have trouble getting in and out of doorways all the time. Let's leave it." Glen Glinda is now Ed Wood notoriously was a cross dresser as well. He wasn't, and they kept asking him, and they asked him in the film, "Are you gay? What's up with that?" "No, I just like women's clothes." He loves cashmere. He loves the feel of it on his skin. And he's just so open and honest about it. "No, I'm not gay. I love women, but I just like to dress as women too." And he does his classic role as Glen or Glinda, where he is the star and he dresses as Glen and Glinda. So good. It's all shot in black and white. Don't let that. I think that's what turned me off when I was younger. I never saw this movie when I was growing up. It came out in 90. What was this? 94, something like that. I never saw it. I remember when it came out, and I just kind of passed it by. I didn't see it till maybe 15 years ago or so, and I finally picked it up on a recommendation and instantly fell in love with it. As soon as it came out on Blu-ray, I picked it up. If it comes out in 4K, I will pick it up as well. The supporting cast, I've got some notes here. I'm just going to go to my notes. The supporting cast is amazing. Obviously, I mentioned Martin Landau playing Bela Lugosi, kind of in his death throes. Um, and the last footage of Bela Lugosi ever put on film was done by Ed Wood, which is really cool. Sarah Jessica Parker plays um, his girlfriend, his love interest, Patricia Arquette, is also in this movie. Vincent D'Onofrio plays Orson Welles. His voice is dubbed over, but he is the Orson Welles character. Bill Murray shows up as Bunny Breckenridge. Just so funny. There's a scene where they are getting backing from a Baptist church for a movie. And in order to do so, the Baptist church says, okay, but you all have to be baptized. And they're like, well, we can do that. So they all go, and Buddy Breckenridge, Bill Murray's character, is like, only you, Ed, could get your friends to be baptized to make a movie. And it's so good. George the Animal Steel, I mentioned, as Tor Johnson. Lisa Marie plays Vampira. So many people know, everybody knows Elvira. But before Elvira, there was a previous Mistress of the Dark late night TV show host character, Vampira. Played fantastic here. One of the other great roles is Jeffrey Jones as Criswell. You know Jeffrey Jones from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the principal, but I'd know him more for Howard the Duck. I'd rather watch Howard the Duck than Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I know that's kind of blasphemy in a lot of film circles, but Ferris Bueller's Day Off never did it for me. But Howard the Duck was sure fun, and he plays the crazy guy that turns into the alien at the end. Martin Landau did win Best Supporting Actor for this movie. Well deserved. It shows the struggle of 1950s film, because it wasn't cheap to shoot. You didn't have a camera back then. Everybody didn't have a phone. If you wanted to shoot a low budget movie, you still had to have film. You still had to have some money to do this. And Ed Wood would come up with whatever means necessary. There's one of the opening scenes is great. He goes in to talk to a guy, a super low budget film producer, and he's like, we got to make a movie. We got 12 days to put it in the can, and like $3,000. And Ed was like, I'll do it. Do we have a script? Like, nope, but we got a poster. And they've got a poster. He's like, perfect. We can do it. That's all he needs. That's all the inspiration he needs to make the movie. Later, he finds a bunch of stock footage of military armies marching, tanks firing rockets and explosions. And he's like, that I can make a whole movie around this. I'll put some actors in. We'll cut this in between. We'll make a war picture, and he does. And it's just, as a aspiring filmmaker, somebody who did study film, this is so much fun. It truly is my favorite movie of all time. So I just kind of want to jump on here today and just do a video, because I do get that question a lot. What is your favorite movie? I've got two of them: American Movie and Ed Wood. Desert Island Material, you betcha. I could watch them both every day. They are that much fun. If you haven't seen Ed Wood, please watch it. I will do a deep dive on it. I haven't seen it in about a year, so I am due for my yearly rewatch. So I wanted to give it a watch before we do a full deep dive into it. An American Movie, as soon as that arrives in 4K, I said I just ordered it yesterday, so it'll probably be here in the next couple of days. Very excited for that, because there's nothing like that else. There's nothing else like that either. So, again, movies about filmmaking are just so fascinating to me. I'm the kind of guy, I prefer Heart of Darkness over Apocalypse Now. Heart of Darkness is the documentary on making of Apocalypse Now. Apocalypse Now is a great movie, but I'd rather watch the behind the scenes making of, because that's far more interesting to me. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Again, like, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff. I really do appreciate it. We're going to blast past 2,000 subs probably on this video. So thanks to everybody. That's amazing. Uh, I'm gonna keep the content coming. It's gonna just be pop culture. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be 4K stuff. It might be some comic books. It might be some Pokemon cards or wrestling or who knows. I love it all. And join me on the journey that is 8-Bit Goonies. Thanks again, guys. Talk to you soon.